Hello and welcome to yet another video, and in this video it is something a little bit different than usual because in this video I'll be sharing with you all what I bring with me during my corporate shoot, generally speaking, because different shoot requires a little bit different gear, but generally these are the gear that I bring with me. And in case it might actually help some of you out, since all of us do take different equipments to our corporate shoots, things like that. And before we get into the video, I have to make a little bit of a disclaimer that I generally don't shoot corporate shoot mainly. I do more of like event photography, wedding photography, portrait photography, product photography, things like that, but not a lot of corporate shoots. So last week when I had my corporate shoot, I thought, it would be good to actually share with you all because I realized I didn't really share any of these before. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So for those who actually have been following me for a while now will actually realize that not a lot of gear has changed the past couple of years when it comes to different scenarios of shooting. There are just gear that I add here and certain gears that I actually take out. And in this video, you will see some of the gears that I actually take out and some of the gears that I actually add in. And let me talk about the ones that I actually add in first, which is this right here. And another thing that just dropped. It's a reflector. I don't usually carry reflectors around with me, but during a corporate shoot, they care more about certain shadows, things like that. So I actually carried this with me. That being said, the last corporate shoot, it was actually kind of interesting because they didn't want a more traditional kind of corporate style shoot where it looks a lot like a passport version of, I don't know, a studio shoot or something like that. They wanted more natural lighting, things like that. So I did bring my lighting system with me or lighting equipment with me, but after a few shots, I just kind of like not use it because they really prefer like a more natural kind of look. So I really went with that, but I'm going to be covering some of the lighting equipment first because it's kind of literally outside before digging down into the camera back compartments. So the first thing I bring with me is, well, not the first thing, but two things for the lighting system is this light stand. It's from Wallimax. It's actually a studio light stand, but it's actually light enough to bring along with me, and also this kind of octagon softbox thing, umbrella softbox that you can actually bring with you. I did made a video tutorial about using that as like a one light portrait shoot, which is why I actually bring with me. So I actually did use it in real life as well. So yeah, there is that. But if you also want to watch the tutorial, it's also on my website and also on my YouTube channel. Feel free to go and watch that as well. The camera that's always outside my bag is this one. It actually can fit inside my bag, but it will always be, outside my bag simply because in case I need to grab a shot right away. And that is the R5 with the 28-70 f2. Now this actually, when I'm walking around, will always be kind of clip onto my capture clip. So yeah, now moving on to the bag. So this is the bag that I do carry with me. It's a bit heavy right now. It is the Wondered Provoke. This is the 41 liter version, I believe it is. It's actually very versatile and it's very nice and rugged as well. It is not completely rainproof, but for what I use it for, it was actually serving good purpose. But moving like to the top compartment here, which is the huge one, here I have extra towel in case I need to clean some of my gear if the weather decides to turn for the worse. This is my battery pouch, which I don't have all of the batteries in there, but only for the systems that I do carry on that day. I do have the 70-200 f2.8 RF lens in here. Then I also have this, which is it's actually where you mount the flash, and then you mount this onto the light stand, and then there's a little hole in front where you can actually mount the umbrella or softbox or what have you. So this is actually quite handy as well. Then in here, like if we fold this back, there's a kind of a secret compartment in here, which is where I keep all of my SSDs, cables, cleaning cloth, pens, and everything. Yeah, all of the unnecessary stuff. Well, necessary, but not really necessary to really show in the video. I also keep my backup hard drive in there as well, not only the SSDs where I would work from. In front here, I usually just keep actually like microfiber cloths, and also power bank and other cables that I usually would need on like immediate access if I want to shoot tether. I do bring my computer with me. This is the computer that I bring with me. It is the 14-inch MacBook Pro. I think it's still a really reliable machine. I don't need the 16-inch one. I think that's too big when traveling a lot. So yeah, there's that. But opening the back compartment here, I have the MacBook Air inside just to kind of like, you know, demonstrate purposes. And then we are in the main compartment. You can't really see it, but yeah, there's that. At the very bottom, I use the Godox flash, and there is also the Godox flash transmitter inside, which is nice. I also have done a video tutorial on the one light setup where I actually use this very setup and this very light. Then I also have my ultra wide angle with me, which is the 15-35 f2.8 RF. It's actually a very nice and reliable lens. Then I also bring with me the Sony with the 20 f1.8, my favorite Sony setup. Like if I have to pick one camera, one lens from the Sony system, it will have to be the a7 IV, which I have it on here right now, and the 20 f1.8. It's a very versatile lens. It's a very versatile setup. The lens is not too wide, it's not too tight. It's an equivalent of like a 50mm for me, because for those who follow my channel for a long time will know that I find 50mm the weirdest focal length that ever exists. And to me, a standard millimeter, like a standard focal range is usually around 24, and that is 21.8, which is perfect because then I can also vlog with that lens. And then the last camera setup here is the R6 with the 85-1.2. It is the Mark 1 of the R6, which is still a great camera for what I do. I don't see the reason on, you know, upgrading to the R6 Mark 2, though the R5 Mark 2 looks extremely promising, but again, I don't need the features on those cameras as of yet. It's like, it's not necessary. It's good to have, but it's not necessary for me. So I'm still sticking with the Mark 1 version of these, but maybe one day I'll upgrade to the Mark 2 version, because the tally lamp alone is worth it, together with that new video and photography switch. That's already pretty good. But in terms of the autofocusing system, these two cameras are really great. Whenever I shoot portrait, it just recognizes my subject right away, and with this 85-1.2, I just never missed a shot. Actually, it sounds like an advertisement, but I really never missed a shot with these 85-1.2 on the R5 and the R6. So that's actually pretty good. But if we go back to the beginning of the video when I said like my shooting style has changed quite a bit, is I remember when I used to shoot portrait, I would be setting everything up like a studio. So there would be like a room where I would set up all of my lighting and also set up the tripod, and people would just come in, and then, you know, it would be similar to like a portrait shoot, just with more dimension, just playing with the shadows a little bit on the face. I tried to replicate that here with this shoot with the one light setup, and it just didn't work out. The shooting style has changed, and also I noticed that a lot of the clients who shoot corporate nowadays, their taste also has changed. They prefer something that is more casual, something that's more outdoor, something that's either in the office, that's, you know, them working, or just, yeah, just more casual and candid, rather than something look very official. So yeah, my gear has changed quite a bit. So the lighting system mainly just stayed in the bag, and also with the 28-70 f2, I find myself enjoying shooting more with natural light a lot than with the flashes, and I still can get really professional looking images with the 28-70 f2. It's very versatile. It's very, yeah, different look than what you usually get, because well, what you usually get with the 24-70 f2.8. That f2 versus the f2.8 really has that huge difference, because the f2 on the 28-70mm lens completely makes the f2.8 on the 24-70mm lens looks like it was just shot on a snapshot kind of image. And then another piece of camera equipment that I use more often than usual is the 70-200. For some reason during this shoot, I use it a bit more than the 85-1.2. Usually on my corporate shoot, they like to see the 85-1.2 because of the color rendition, the background separation. Obviously the f1.2 has that magical look to it that, you know, the plane of focus is very thin, and usually my clients like that. But during this shoot, because it was actually more casual, this becomes very handy when you're outdoor, and I could actually just direct any person to stand anywhere I want and just use this lens to zoom into them or just compose the background that actually suits them. And you know, the way this lens also renders the background is actually very, very nice. And that f2.8 is still very good on the telephoto lens, simply because on the telephoto lens you still are able to get that very compressed background, and while keeping that distance, you are still able to get that very nice out of focus background as well. So that's actually very nice, and I got a lot of, let's say, full length portrait with this lens that has a very nice blurry background, but also you still can make out what the background is in terms of like the storytelling part of it. So it's actually very practical and also very versatile to have. So yeah, that was actually the first time this lens kind of shined over my 85 1.2 quite a bit. But when I was indoor though, the 85 1.2 still, you know, did the job better than the E70-200, to be expected, because it renders the light in the room very, very nicely. And if you're working with a lot of different temperature light condition, the 85 1.2 with that f1.2, you are able to, you know, play a bit with the lighting and get away with certain bad lighting as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this video have helped somewhat, if not a lot, then a little. Yeah, but otherwise, if you need a free photography guidebook, it's absolutely for free on my website. The link is down in the description section below. If you need a free photography video courses as well, or some paid ones, it's also on my website as well. The link is also down in the description section below. If you have any questions, any suggestions, feel free to also comment that down in the comment section below as well. Otherwise, I thank you all very much for watching. Stay safe, have fun shooting. Till next time, bye for now.